Did you know? Majora's Mask's concept of time recurring with varying results came from the German film Run Lola Run. The movie is broken into 3 story segments that all start the same way but develop differently over time. Nintendo developer Yoshiaki Koizumi originally used this idea to develop a board game-like project themed around cops and robbers. The player would have 7 days to catch a robber in a world that was small in scope but full to the brim with content. Koizumi's game was ultimately cancelled, and its core mechanic was passed on to Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask also started with a 7-day cycle. This was reduced to 3 days so players didn't have to wait around for or keep track of too many in-game events. The change was also made due to the massive workload. Making 7 days of content would push the team far beyond their 1-year development deadline. Nintendo's original plan was to develop a remixed version of Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64 disk drive, but Zelda series developer Eiji Aonuma didn't want to rework the game. He'd spent years making what he thought were the perfect Zelda dungeons in Ocarina of Time. He didn't want to change them, so he requested to start work on a new Zelda game instead. Aonuma's request was approved, but only under the condition that he complete the game in a single year. The stress of creating an entire game in such a short period of time gave Aonuma nightmares. In an Iwata Asks interview, Aonuma recalled a dream where he was chased by Deku. I was thinking about an event for the Deku, and had been trying to figure out what to do with it. I thought of it at home, and Deku's appeared in my dream. I woke up screaming. The next day, scene director Takumi Kawagoe showed Aonuma a cutscene he'd been working on. Kawagoe's cutscene shocked Aonuma, as it was exactly like his Deku nightmare. Aonuma wasn't the only one dreaming about the game. The idea to have the moon crashing into Termina as the main threat came from one of Yoshiaki Koizumi's daydreams. He dreamt about what would happen if the moon suddenly started falling to Earth, and how people would react. Speaking of which, the moon didn't always have a face. Early builds of the game show a faceless moon, suggesting it remained featureless for some time. Even the game's promotional art depicts the moon without a face. Masks were chosen as the focal point for the game because Nintendo believed the full potential of the masks wasn't realized in Ocarina of Time. The developers decided to give Link new abilities through wearing the masks rather than using items.
Hello everybody, welcome to Guardian Gaming.